Hey everybody, welcome back to Autumn Wraith Family Farm. Pardon the wind, we've had some pretty heavy thunderstorms and a lot of weather the last 2-3 days here now. So last night we had pretty bad thunderstorms and we got 2.5 inches of rain, which is less than a lot of people got and more than a lot of other people got. But anyhow, so today I wanted to show something really quick. Not going to be a long video, but something that has saved me and in a pinch might save somebody else or might just be handy. So I moved the cows, they're over there. There's a wire separating them and me, and here's their water tank. So what I forgot to do is bring a bucket with me. And I didn't turn the water off early enough yesterday to get them to drink enough that I can dump the rest out by hand and move it. So this is our water line here, and I haven't really showcased this yet in any of our videos, which I intend to because this thing is a lifesaver. But anyway, so we have a water line here that goes all the way back to the house, and they provide water out of these faucets right here. So I've got one of these faucets along this fence line every 200 feet, and that's how we supply water to the cows now. So all I have to do is move the water tank instead of hauling water out here in one of those big IBC totes and the time it takes to fill it and haul it and dump it and everything. So we have this piece of hose with one of these cool adapters here that plugs into this yellow hydrant. So these two go together, and it's all done by push-pull. So you just push that thing in, push this into the end of the hydrant, and this clips over the outside, and then you've got water. So the water comes up from here, up this hose, and normally this is attached to this right here in this hole, and this is a float valve. You can see the red underneath. That is a valve that will shut itself when the tank fills full of water, so that it doesn't overflow, and it's basically maintenance free for the most part until it's time to move it. It fills it. When it's done filling it, it shuts off as the cows drink. It calls for more water, and that valve opens and fills the tank up again. So that red thing down there is the float, and that moves up and down with the water level. So what is it that I'm trying to show today? Well, so I forgot a bucket to empty this tank. So without the tractor, without a bucket, without pulling the plug, which I don't want to do because it's kind of stuck in the bottom of the tank really well, and I don't want it to leak, because if it leaks, then it's constantly filling with water, and that's not efficient. So this is pretty cool what I'm going to show you, I think. And so what I do is I unscrew this hose from here, and if you just throw it in here, it doesn't do anything, right? It's just a hose in there. But if you take this and you stick the whole thing underwater, if you can see, the water is coming out of the end here of the hose as it gets up to the top. See there, it's kind of overflowing a little bit. So the water is same level, the hose is completely filled. Now you close the end of this with your hand so that it's airlocked in here, and just dump it over the side, just like that. Now this will take a little while, but it didn't cost anything. I didn't have to get the tractor out here, and it saves my back because I don't have to try to bucket waters out of it to get it to empty. So some of you guys will say, well, this is a waste of water. Well, yeah, it's kind of a waste of water if you're only looking at it from the water standpoint. But on days when it is really dry and hot, this will kind of give all the grass around it a boost. And our soil here is so sandy that it percolates at 8 feet an hour. So the water that you see on the surface will percolate through our soil. In an hour, it'll be 8 feet deep, which is 1.5 feet taller than me. So we'll just let this run until it gets to the point where I can pick it up and dump it out. As I get older, more wore out, then these little tricks actually seem to help out. At the same time, you also kind of learn some patience, because this does take a little bit of time. And having that patience to allow this to drain gives you opportunity to look at the cows, take some time to reflect, and watch and take a look at what's growing out here and how your management is working and things of that nature while you're out here. So it's not ideal. I'd rather this be drunk to the bottom where I can just pick it up and unhook it from here, from the hydrant, which takes half a second, drag it down to the next hydrant and plug it in. That's what I'd rather do. But when you're in a pinch, you got to do what you got to do. Now, where did I learn this? Yes, I'm an Eagle Scout. No, that's not where I learned it. It's not where I remember learning it anyway. Where I remember learning it from is watching old war movies with my dad and mom, from the Battle of the Bulge, the original. They had the German soldiers were carrying rubber hoses and they couldn't figure out why at first. Well, they were using this technique to suck fuel out of things that were damaged or wherever they could find it. Because at the end of World War II, the Germans had very little resources. So anyway, that's where I learned this, from a movie, an old but good movie. So we'll just let this run out for a little bit and call her good. Hope that was educational. Hope you learned something. Hope that helps you out someday. And you don't find this too boring. I think it's kind of neat, so personally. Anyway, all right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.